What is up everyone, my name is Stoody and I'd like to welcome you all back to another AFL list video. In today's video I'm going to be listing every AFL team's biggest draft bust during the 2010s era. This video will mainly focus on first round picks, but there are some second round picks included on this list, as some teams have either not had very many first round picks during this period, or they simply just haven't screwed them up. Now, when you select a player in the first round, you should expect them to make a good contribution to the team. A player who is selected at the end of the first round should be at least an above average caliber player throughout their careers, and the players who are selected in the top 5 of the draft should be at minimum a star caliber player throughout their career. Unfortunately, this isn't always the case, and some players severely underperform. Let's see which player from each team has been the biggest bust during the 2010s era.
Adelaide, Fisher Mackesy. Fisher Mackesy was selected with the 6th pick in the 2019 AFL draft. He is a defender for the Crom and has only played 10 games for his career. All those 10 games were in his first season, which was in 2020. He has not been able to get a game for 2 seasons, and it's safe to say he's by far Adelaide's worst selection of this period. It's only a matter of time before his career is over. Brisbane, Josh Schache. Josh Schache was selected with the 2nd pick of the 2015 AFL draft by the Brisbane Lions. He only played 2 seasons with the Lions, where he only kicked a goal a game before requesting a trade back to Victoria. Schache was traded to the Western Bulldogs in the 2017 off-season. It was already clear before he was traded that he was certainly a bust. Brisbane were lucky they were able to get rid of him when they did. Schache's best season was in 2019, where he kicked 24 goals from 14 games. Remember, Schache was a pick 2 and a key forward, and his best season was only a 24 goal season. Since 2019 though, he has been absolutely atrocious, only managed 18 games since for a shocking 12 goals. Schache was traded to Melbourne during the 2022 off-season, and he's probably on his last chance. Melbourne need a key forward, and if Schache can't at least become an average caliber player, his career will be over in the next year or two. Schache has played 72 games and has kicked 78 goals so far. Carlton, Paddy Dow. Paddy Dow was selected with the 3rd pick in the 2017 AFL draft. He was selected as a midfielder, and there was a lot of hype around him joining a struggling Carlton. The problem is, he has never got going at AFL level and has been getting worse and worse as the years have gone on. He has only managed 40 games so far in his 5 seasons and has an average of a horrid 14 disposals per game. For someone who was seen as a future superstar, that is embarrassing. The thing that is even more embarrassing is that he did not play a single game for Carlton in 2022, which shows they have certainly given up on him. If he doesn't turn things around quickly, I expect him to be out of the league in a year. Collingwood, Nathan Freeman. Nathan Freeman was selected with the 10th pick in the 2013 AFL draft. There was a lot of hype around this guy, but injuries completely destroyed his chance to even have a career. Freeman never played a game for Collingwood and was traded to St Kilda in the 2015 off-season. It took Freeman almost 5 years to make his AFL debut, which was late in 2018. He was delisted from St Kilda at the end of the 2018 season after just 2 career games and 1 goal. Essendon, Aaron Francis. Aaron Francis was selected with the 6th pick of the 2015 AFL draft. Some people will be surprised by this decision, but Essendon haven't had many high picks during this period, and the ones they did have were good picks. Francis is certainly a bust, as he has only been an average caliber player his whole career. Francis has only managed 54 games in his first 5 seasons. He was traded to the Sydney Swans during the 2022 off-season. Who knows, maybe he will do a parish and come good. Fremantle, Josh Simpson. Let me guess, no one knows who the hell he is. Well, neither did I until I looked through the drafts. Josh Simpson was selected with the 17th pick in the 2012 AFL draft. Simpson only played 2 games for the Dockers in 2 seasons with 1 goal to his name before he was delisted at the end of the 2014 season and was never heard of again. Safe to say this was an awful selection. Geelong, Nakia Cockatoo. Nakia Cockatoo was selected with the 10th pick in the 2014 AFL draft. This guy was pretty popular when he was drafted due to his name and due to the fact he loves cock. Cockatoo's career has been plagued with injury and has never played more than 11 games per season. He has been below average his whole career, and at the age of 26, I can't see him getting any better. He has only managed 49 games in his 8-season career. He averages 0.7 goals and 9 disposals for his career. He was traded to the Brisbane Lions in the 2020 off-season, where he has been a little bit better than his last 3 years at Geelong, where he only played 2 games, which included 2 consecutive seasons where he didn't play a game. As a 10th pick, this is terrible. I am predicting him to be out of the league in a year or 2. Gold Coast, Daniel Gorringe. Daniel Gorringe was selected with the 10th pick in the 2010 AFL draft. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, as he is pretty popular, but looking at Gold Coast drafting, it hasn't actually been that bad. They just haven't been able to hang on to their talent. Looking through everything, Gorringe has been their worst early pick ever. In his 7 seasons, he only managed 26 games. He was traded to Carlton in the 2015 off-season, where in 2016 he had his best season. He literally played 4 games in his best season and he kicked 4 goals. As a key forward, this was the most amount of goals he kicked in a season. Literally fucking 4. He only kicked 11 goals in his 26 games at an average of 0.4 per game. There's defenders that average better than that. Other than the blokes on this list who played hardly any games, Gorringe is by far the worst statistically. Absolutely atrocious. GWS Giants, Jonathan O'Rourke. Jonathan O'Rourke was selected with the 2nd pick of the 2012 AFL draft. GWS have drafted terribly over the years. There was an absolute goldmine of players to choose from, but I have gone with O'Rourke. Now this bloke has to be the worst top 2 pick of all time other than Richard Launder, because 21 career games in 6 seasons as a 2nd pick is disgusting. He played his first 2 seasons with GWS before being traded to Hawthorne. He was a terrible player his whole career, only averaging 14 disposals. He was out of the league at the end of 2018. What else is there to say? This guy was useless. Hawthorne, Kieran Lovell. Hawthorne have only had 2 first-round picks in this period. Isaac Smith, who obviously isn't a bust, and Will Day, who I think can still be good. So I've gone with someone who you have probably never heard of. His name is Kieran Lovell, and he was selected 22nd in the 2015 AFL draft. He only played 2 games for his career in 2016, where he got a total of 29 disposals, and that was it. He was delisted at the end of 2018. What else is there to say? Clearly a bust as an early 2nd round pick. Melbourne, Lucas Cook. Again, who the fuck is this guy? You might be wondering, where is Jimmy Toumpas? Yes, Jimmy Toumpas was bad, but at least he played. Lucas Cook was selected with the 12th pick in the 2010 AFL draft. Anyone who remembers him will remember how severely overpowered he was in the AFL Live 1 video game when he was useless in real life. Lucas Cook never played an AFL game. Literally never. Making him the only 1st round pick since 2010 to have never done so. He was delisted in 2012, and that was that. He doesn't even have a Wikipedia. He's that irrelevant. North Melbourne, Sam Durden. Sam Durden was selected with the 16th pick in the 2014 AFL draft. There was a lot of hype around this guy. Boy was he overrated, and boy did he disappoint. He only managed 21 games for North Melbourne in his 6 seasons there before being delisted at the end of the 2020 season. He actually has been given another chance though in the 2022 mid-season draft, where he was picked up by Carlton. He played 1 game and got injured. I had the prick in my Supercoach too. Port Adelaide, Miles Bergman. Port haven't had many 1st round picks in this period, but Miles Bergman has been the worst. He was selected with the 14th pick in the 2019 AFL Draft. He played 23 games in his first season as a forward, but he only kicked 7 goals, which is horrific. He hasn't managed to get a game since 2021. Richmond, Ben Lennon. This was a tight one between Ben Lennon and Corey Ellis, but I've gone with Ben Lennon. Lennon was selected 12th in the 2013 AFL Draft. This is known as being a terrible draft from Richmond. Lennon was a forward and was complete garbage his whole career. In his 4 seasons, he only managed 21 games and kicked a pathetic 10 goals. He was known for having a poor attitude and being an overall shit bloke, which is why his career failed. He was delisted at the end of the 2017 season. St Kilda, Paddy McCartan. Paddy McCartan was the number 1 pick in the 2014 AFL Draft. Everyone could tell he was a bad pick from the start. Not only that, the bloke had type 1 diabetes. His career at St Kilda was a disaster, affected with concussions and the fact he was never going to be that good anyway. He only played 35 games and kicked 34 goals for St Kilda before he was delisted at the end of 2019. He has had a resurgence though, however, as Sydney have decided to give him a go in 2022, and he had a career best season. During his time at St Kilda, he was below average, but now, at Sydney, he is an average calibre player. If he keeps it up, he might be able to put together a bit of a career. Sydney, Matt Ling. Matt Ling is the son of former Geelong star Cameron Ling. Sadly, he is an embarrassment to the Ling family. When Ling was slated with pick 14 in 2017, everyone was shocked as he was projected to go a lot lower than that. We all knew that was a bad pick, and boy was Ling terrible. He only managed 4 games for his career, where he got 26 disposals for his career. He was delisted at the end of 2021. Sydney should sack whoever decided to select him and waste a first round pick. West Coast, Daniel Venables. Daniel Venables was selected with the 13th pick of the 2016 AFL Draft. Now I know this is probably harsh, but he's literally the only high draft pick for West Coast that has gone wrong during this period. Venables probably would have been good if it wasn't for concussions. He only played 21 games in his first 2 years and played none in his last 2 due to concussions. He retired at the end of 2021 as a result. Western Bulldogs, Kieran Collins. Another bloke you probably haven't heard of. The fact is, the Bulldogs have drafted very well during this period. Collins was selected with the 26th pick of the 2015 draft, so yes, he was a second rounder. Collins only played 1 game for his career, which was round 9 2016 against the GWS Giants, where he only got 4 disposals. He was delisted at the end of the 2018 season.
That is it for this video. Thank you all for watching this video. If you have any suggestions on what sort of list videos I should do in the future, please leave them in the comment section down below. I am probably going to do the biggest draft steals for each team next, or I could do biggest busts in the 2000s era, or maybe biggest steals of the 2000s era. And I do plan on redrafting certain drafts from the past. So yeah, there's some of the ideas that I have for the next few weeks. So if you guys would like to check out my other social media accounts, I have Instagram, it's called StoodyYT, and I also have Twitter, which is also called StoodyYT. Links to both of those are in the description. I've also got a Discord server. It's called Australian Sports Community. So if you'd like to go ahead and join that, link to that is also in the description. So I hope you all have had a good day, and I'll see you all in the next video.